This is Sibongile Ziambo with the news, and thank you for joining me. The headlines at this hour. 2 men in Katabe jailed for life for the 2018 brutal murder of a 59-year-old man with albinism in the district. Inspector General for the Malawi Police Service asked Parliament to lobby for the relocation of the refugee camp from Zodiak. A team of medical doctors from Britain is expected in the country before the end of this year to help boost Malawi's efforts in the fight against COVID-19. In sports, Farm says its ambition is for the Flames to camp in a country with advanced facilities ahead of the 2022 AFCON finals in Cameroon. Please stay with us for these and many more. 2 men in Katabe had to spend the rest of their lives in jail after being found guilty of the 2018 brutal murder of a 59-year-old man with albinism in the district. Yasin Kwendapidi was murdered on the New Year's Eve in the presence of his 9-year-old son. Passing the sentence Wednesday afternoon, Judge Chimwemwe Kamowa said the two, Frank Tonje and Bonzo Chira, deserved a maximum sentence. Steve Zimba was at the court.
High Court Judge Chimwemwe Kamowa delivered the ruling, which was prepared by Justice Dorothy de Gabriel in a somber atmosphere that engulfed the Nkatabe court. During the entire 28 minutes when Judge Kamowa was reading the sentence, the convicts, Frank Tonja and Bonzo Chira, looked calm and collected. The judge told the court that the court had weighed in all mitigating factors submitted by defense and state, but basing on how Piro was murdered, the two deserve a life sentence. Defense Counsel Chief Legal Aid Advocate for Legal Aid Bureau, Chimwemwe Chitwapemwale, says his team will meet their clients to map their way forward.
At this point, what we need to do is to have a discussion with our clients, and from that discussion, we are going to form an opinion on how we proceed from now.
Executive Director of the Center for Human Rights and Rehabilitation, Michael Kayata, who has been following the issue since 2018, says they are happy with the sentence.
The court considered several factors, including the sanctity of life and also the importance of rehabilitation and reformation. These are issues.
Inspector General for the Malawi Police Service, Dr. George Kainja, has asked Parliament to lobby for the relocation of the refugee camp from Zodiak, arguing the current location is hindering the law enforcers from dealing with illegal immigrants. The call was made during a performance audit which was done by the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament on Wednesday, and Vice Chairperson of the committee, Nedipoya, has pledged to look into the matter with the seriousness it deserves. The meeting was focusing on efforts by the police service to reduce crime and illegal immigrants.
On Wednesday, Malawi Police Service appeared before Public Accounts Committee of Parliament for a performance audit. During the meeting, it transpired that operations by the service are being crippled due to poor financing and inadequate structures, which is demotivating officers. Inspector General Dr. George Kainja further told the committee that efforts by the law enforcers to stop illegal migrants are being affected due to the geographical location of Zodiak refugee camp. Kainja therefore asked the committee to probe the issue surrounding the relocation of the asylum facility. Party Vice Chairperson Nedipoya said the committee will look into the concerns.
There are a lot of factors that have to be taken on board. The issue of financing, the issue of funding. The police is limited because they don't determine on the issue of how much do we get. Another office determines that. It's an issue that has to be tackled broadly. Looking into the Ministry of Finance on how we finance the police. For us to be satisfied, we have to touch all angles.
About 50,000 refugees and asylum seekers reside in Zodiak refugee camp, according to UNHCR.
Parliament's Committee on Agriculture has accused government of launching this year's affordable input program before finishing all necessary preparations. Chairperson of the committee, Samir Suleiman, claimed the government has not finished registration of beneficiaries and identification of suppliers. Suleiman further told us that the ministry lied to Malawians that the country has 150,000 metric tons of fertilizer, saying only 75,000 tons is available for the exercise. This report by Westin Guda.
On Saturday, President Lazarus Chakwera launched the 2021-2022 Affordable Input Program to the amazement of the Agricultural Committee of Parliament, which claims government rushed when important processes are not any near to completion. Speaking during a meeting with Ministry of Agriculture officials, Suleiman accused them of lying that the country has 150,000 metric tons of fertilizer when there is only 75,000 tons available, even contrary to the country's target of having 620,000 tons per year. Suleiman is therefore worried that this year's program will not be effective compared to last year, adding there is need that the Anti-Corruption Bureau should investigate how the Smallholder Farmers Fertilizer Revolving Fund of Malawi is handling the program.
We fault them for actually going ahead with the launch of the program before the preparations were completed. How do you go and launch a program when you don't even have suppliers? Suppliers have not signed contracts, and you go and launch a program before you know where you're going to get the fertilizer from. We feel that was rushed. The list of beneficiaries has not been concluded, but yet you have rushed to launch a program.
Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Erica Maganga, assured Malawians that in the meantime, the country has 34% of the fertilizer and now just waiting to start delivery soon after getting enough quantities.
As a ministry, we also did some consultations with some fertilizer suppliers, the usual fertilizer suppliers that normally keep fertilizer for commercial. And we were clear in the meeting to say that some of this fertilizer that the suppliers have is for their commercial sales, some of which will go on the AIP program.
In the 2020-2021 farming season, the program aided the country to produce a surplus, which is expected to be exported. For Zodiac, this is Western Guta.
Meanwhile, the committee has also renewed its call for government to ban maize exports, warning there could be pockets of food shortage in the country this year. And speaking to Zodiac on Wednesday, chairperson of the committee, Samir Suleiman, wondered why government is yet to ban maize exports when 1.5 million Malawians require food aid. He quoted a recent Malawi Vulnerability Assessment Committee report, but Ministry of Agriculture spokesperson Gracian Lungu asked for more time before commenting. This report by Blessings Kangombe.
Chairperson for the Parliamentary Committee on Agriculture, Samir Suleiman, feels issuing maize export ban now remains the best solution to address a possible food deficit this year. Suleiman says they will continue pushing government on the issue for the benefit of hunger-stricken Malawians. Among others, the Parliamentary Committee on Agriculture is citing rise of fertilizer prices beside the recent report by Malawi Vulnerability Assessment Committee, which said 1.5 million people require food assistance this year.
What we have seen is that government is insisting that no, there will not be hunger, everyone has enough food, but we are wondering where they are getting the figures from, or if they have indeed done a survey or an assessment of the situation on the ground. Our fear is that we are running out of maize, and we might not be able to feed some of our people in the areas that are always hit by hunger.
Minister of Agriculture spokesperson Gracian Lungu asked for more time before commenting on the matter.
The 7-day ultimatum the Mulanje District Council gave vendors plying their trade at the Odi Limbuli market to relocate to the new market has elapsed, without the former taking action. The ultimatum followed the evocation of the injunction by the High Court in Blanta, which the vendors obtained in June, restraining the council from forcing them to enter into the new market, arguing that the new market had inadequate toilets, water points and shops. District Commissioner for Mulanje, Stalich Mwambiwa, told us the challenges were fixed, injunction quashed, and the vendors have to move into the new market. Essence Yumani has more on that story.
In this farming season, 1 Acre Fund has targeted about 9,093 farmers in Cho District, up from 6,724 farmers last year. But some former beneficiaries of the Farm Input Loan Program FILP in the district have bemoaned that they are forced to service their loans despite harvesting little due to dry spell. Speaking during the launch of the initiative this season, Acting Traditional Authority Kapiji asked 1 Acre Fund to put in place measures to help farmers recover.
40 households in Lilongwe have been rendered homeless following an arson attack by relations of a motorcyclist who was assaulted and murdered by criminals last week. Lilongwe police publicist Hastings Chigalu has told us that after the burial of Jonathan Ikankula on Monday, his relatives invaded 6 villages and torched houses belonging to families of a suspect named as Thomas Mashupiko. Lilongwe District Council spokesperson Chimomwenjoloma says members of the 42 households are lodging in classroom blocks in different villages and need urgent help. And the police in Chileka are keeping in custody 12 more suspects in connection with the setting ablaze of a church in Chileka, Blantyre, Banangra on Sunday. The fracas followed a disagreement between members of a Headstone Prophetic Ministry and some villagers over which rituals were to be followed at a funeral of a village headman. For details is Alex Bandam.
Police in Chileka have this morning in the wee hours of Wednesday arrested 12 people from Munkata village who are suspected to have taken part in an arson of the Headstone Prophetic Ministries church that belongs to Lord Overton Makuta over the weekend on Sunday. We are being told that the arrest of these 12 tallies the figure of those that are arrested in connection with this arson to 13 after the arrest of one of the people that is suspected to be members of the cult. Chileka Police Publicist Mr. Jonathan Pirivo has not yet confirmed or establishing a connection between the members of the cult as well as the members of the community in Inkata who are suspected to have taken part in torching a church as well as the vehicle belonging to the Headstone Prophetic Ministries Church of Lord Overton Makuta.
You're watching news on Zodiac. We'll be right back shortly. Stand by.
Mipando ya sofa, dining set, mabedi, coffee table zisamakhale ngati zolandira kuli kufanana ayi. Ku Davina Furnitures amapanga mipando, masofa set, dining set mmene inuyo eni yake mukufunira. Podziwa kuti anthufe timakhala nkukonda kosiyanasiyana. Awuzi
Build big, build quality.
Welcome back. A look at the headlines as we proceed with the news. 2 men in Kata Bay jailed for life for the 2018 brutal murder of a 59-year-old man with albinism in the district. Inspector General for the Malawi Police Service asked Parliament to lobby for the relocation of the refugee camp from Zodiak. A team of medical doctors from Britain is expected in the country before the end of this year to help boost Malawi's efforts in the fight against COVID-19. Finally, in sports news, Farm says its ambition is for the Flames to camp in a country with advanced facilities ahead of the 2022 AFCON finals in Cameroon. Moving on with the news, a team of medical doctors from Britain is expected in the country before the end of this year to help boost Malawi's efforts in the fight against COVID-19. A statement from the British High Commission says the medics from the UK emergency medical team will be in the country for the next 2 months to support the Ministry of Health in the management of critically ill COVID patients. Minister of Health Kumbize Kandori Chiponda says the development will create room for information and experience sharing between the UK doctors and Malawi's. John Bokayuni reports.
The British High Commission in Malawi says a team of medical doctors under the UK Emergency Medical Team, EMT, will be deployed to Malawi to support Ministry of Health's efforts in COVID-19 response. A statement issued Tuesday says the doctors will be in the country for 8 weeks, helping health workers on how to manage critically ill COVID patients, manage community perception around COVID-19, and provide support to community engagement on national COVID-19 vaccination efforts. British High Commissioner David Beer, in a statement, said his government is taking the move, realizing that COVID-19 is a global problem which also requires a global solution. Minister of Health Kumbize Kandodo Chiponda told us the development will allow Malawian health practitioners share information and experience with the UK doctors.
The team of doctors, we welcome our presence in Malawi to meet with our doctors and share information, share experiences, and which can map a way of, what happens in the future if indeed we get maybe a fourth wave.
The UK Emergency Medical Team has been supporting global efforts to respond to the pandemic through the deployment of specialist staff to work alongside Ministry of Health staff and other stakeholders, including the World Health Organization, WHO. For Zodiac, this is John Paul Kayuni.
The 2021 National School Science Fair has ended with a call to strengthen the teaching and learning of sciences if the country is to achieve the Malawi 2063 Development Plan. Minister of Education, Science and Technology Agnes Nyalonje told Zodiac the fair has exposed budding scientists capable to finding solutions to national challenges. The annual event was organized by the National Commission for Science and Technology and Kamuzu Academy. Nomkubi reports from Kasungu.
The 2021 National Schools Science Fair brought together students from 41 secondary schools across the country. Among others, students exhibited scientific projects they developed in their respective schools in a number of categories, including environment, health, agriculture, and renewable energy. Minister of Education, Science and Technology, Agnes Nyalonje, told Zodiac that she was impressed with scientific ideas and innovations which students demonstrated, hoping Malawi has a future in budding scientists.
What we've seen here is that these young people, against the odds, are exercising their God-given talent to also do science, to also study science. And the good thing is that it's not just boys, it's girls as well. In all the projects, girls are right there doing very useful things.
Nyalonje says the ministry would work towards refining the ideas to make dreams of future scientists a reality. National Commission for Science and Technology Director General Professor Elijah Wanda told Zodiac that the school science fairs have helped to unearth hidden talents among students who are passionate about innovations.
In the past, what we have been doing is that we have been providing some cash prizes to the winners. But this time around, we're going a step further. What we want is that we should be nurturing these innovations.
This year's science fair was held under the theme Scientific and Technological Innovations, a catalyst to understanding nature. For Zodiac, this is Noron Kubwi, Kasungu.
We now go to sports news. The Football Association of Malawi FAM says its ambition is for the Flames to camp in a country with advanced facilities ahead of the 2022 AFCON finals in Cameroon. In FAM President Walter Nyamirandu Manda told the media after the AFCON trophy was paraded in Blanta that such a conducive camping place for the team will assist the players to adapt and give the best. Total Energies Malawi Limited Managing Director and Nerusha Governor asked the team to strive to bring the cup home. Christopher Sunday reports.
The African Cup of Nations AFCON trophy was paraded in Blanta on Tuesday, courtesy of Total Energies Marketing Malawi Limited. Speaking at a cocktail on Tuesday night, the Football Association of Malawi FAM President Dr. Walter Nyamirandu Manda said the team is going to Cameroon to compete and not to add numbers. The FAM president further stated that they want the team to camp in a country with advanced facilities so that the players can adapt fast and showcase the best.
We want to go and compete. Our target is to go through the group stages and reach the quarterfinals. We're in a tough group, but we're very confident that we can do better. Our team has improved tremendously. You have seen that we're able to withstand the biggest teams on the continent. And I have no doubt that if we go through thorough preparations in December, we should be able to pull a lot of surprises in Cameroon. We have a young team that has a lot of self-belief, and we have a unique way of playing football. At the moment, we still fundraising.
Dr. Nyamirandu Manda also commended head coach Meke Mwasi and his panel for taking the team to AFCON. Total Energies Marketing Malawi Limited Managing Director Nerusha Govenda asked the team to strive to bring the cup home. Reporting for Zodiak from Blantyre, this is Christopher Sande.
That's about what we had time for this additional news. And before we go, a look at the headlines. Goodbye.